had a strong recovery yesterday, and a lot of people are saying that we're back and we are ready to take off on the next leg of crypto adoption. We saw things come out with XRP and Ripple yesterday, highlighting exactly how XRP is going to be used in the new financial system, as well as we covered Canton Network and how Canton Network appreciates in value as well. We're seeing real utility now come on Ledger. We're going to cover that as well. But a lot of people are worried about price right now. Is this actually a real recovery, or can we see more pain? Let's take a look. We really need to understand what's happening with Bitcoin in order to really understand that. So if you've been around the last couple of days, I followed the conversation, or I listened to the chat with MicroStrategy, or whatever strategy they are now. I listened to that. We had the Dirty E files come out. Lots of stuff going on with that. Issues and geopolitical issues with Iran. Lots of things are playing a factor on our overall stock market. But the thing we need to watch right now is Bitcoin. Unfortunately, we have to watch Bitcoin because the rest of the market's going to follow Bitcoin right now. So we had the pullback all the way to 59K. Now you're going to be hearing people talk about EMA 200 and lots of different Fibonacci levels and stuff like that. I use very, very basic technical analysis, and it's typically pretty accurate. We use the EMA 9 to decide what flow we're looking at, but here's how I was looking at this. Let me zoom out. So before the collapse of Bitcoin recently, in this most recent large pullback, right, it fell under 70,700, came up, tapped against it, and then fell all the way down. So my first thought was, this is the first level of resistance we need to get through. We're going to come up and test this area. And then before it crashed, right, we had this level. That was the first drop. Came up to, so I said, okay, next level is going to be here at the 71,700. And it ran straight back up to it, and it's tapped it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and 5 times, and has now fallen below. It could not get past 71,000. And if you look at the RSI on what's happened during that time, it drastically cooled off, right? It went from overbought and then fell all the way down to oversold, and now it's chopping again. So to me, this says it's going to go back down, but that's just me. I think there's still more pain ahead. I think that 55K is an option. Now, I adjusted my target for XRP based on what it did here recently in this most recent recovery. It did recover very, very, very strong. It's recovered all the way. It got all the way up to 154. It's currently now at 142. So I'm thinking $1. If Bitcoin falls to 55K, I think XRP is going to fall to $1. I think that's the bottom for us. Again, I could be wrong, but that's what I'm looking at. Just letting you guys know that I do think there's more pain in the future, but that's why we dollar cost average in for the long view. And again, I'm going to try and get better at how often I say it. I'm going to try and say it less, but this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. You need to do your own research. Investing comes with the risk of loss, and you can lose everything. But right now, the overall market cap, let's refresh here, is down about almost 2%. XRP had healthy volume yesterday while things were going, but again, price recovered very, very strongly. So overall crypto market is still down. Canton Network's down today. It's just chopping right now. Honestly, I think we might see some volatility on Sunday. Before the markets come in, I think we're going to see the markets show their hand in crypto on Sunday. And then I think we're going to have some pain in the AI sector on Monday. Again, I could be wrong, but I don't see happy thoughts in the market right now. So again, that's why we're here for the long view, right? 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Now, why am I still bullish on XRP amidst all this stuff? Well, you guys know I actually follow what's happening on Ledger. And we just had that information come out from Ripple yesterday about how XRP sits in the middle of everything and how it's actually going to be used, and how, basically that utility is going to increase price. Now, we've been following the accounts activity. I've been following the accounts activity for months as it's spiked and maintained. We've talked about enough. I'm pretty sure everyone in here has heard me talk about it probably at least 10 times. But now we're seeing it translate finally into the payments activity I was talking about. Day before yesterday, we did 2.18 million, almost 2.2 million. Yesterday on a Friday, we did another 2 million. And today at noon, we're already at 1.2 million. So it looks like we're going to have a third consecutive day over 2 million. This is ramping up quickly, especially as we talk about all this stuff coming online with Hyperliquid now and derivatives, partnering with Ripple Prime. And then again, if you guys didn't check it out, I don't want to reread the whole thing to you, but you can go to Ripple's website. They released basically a blueprint on how XRP is going to work in the financial system. So in the news today, the Gemini brothers, or not the Winklevoss brothers of Gemini, are exiting the UK, EU, and Australia and reducing staff by 25% and focus on US and prediction markets. So they're closing exchanges and closing out accounts in those countries because they think that crypto is not profitable for them. So they're going to focus on prediction markets and just US crypto. So Gemini is shutting down operations in the UK and European Union and Australia. The crypto exchange is also reducing staff by 25%. Effective the 6th of April, Gemini will be ceasing operations in the United Kingdom, and crypto trading platforms said in an email sent to customers by CoinDesk, which does not mention Australia or Europe. Starting 5 March 2026, all customer accounts in these regions will be placed in withdrawal mode. So they're closing down shop. Not a good look for Gemini right now. This was some information with the SEC I wanted to play for you guys. Just the end of the clip. The rest of it is talking about adoption of crypto, which we've already covered ad nauseum. But there was an interesting part about China and U.S. stocks when we're talking about what's actually happening in our overall stock market economy.
Those Chinese companies that traded on our exchanges and continue to do so. Now, the SEC is stepping up its crackdown on cross-border fraud, targeting pump-and-dump schemes tied to foreign-based companies listed in U.S. markets, some with operations or ownership ties to China, using offshore entities to access U.S. markets. Mr. Chairman, what can you tell us about that? Because you've launched this new cross-border task force and authorized trading suspensions in certain suspect cases, right?
Right. Yeah. So I'm happy to talk about that. But so far over the last several weeks or months, we have been monitoring. Obviously, we monitor all the time what's going on in the markets. But there's been a growing incidence of what we call ramping and dumping, where especially it's some East Asia, China-related companies where they're small, kind of penny stocks on NASDAQ, and here one recently, a company on the New York Stock Exchange, where there was indication of potential manipulative activity, where we stopped trading on those.
Okay, so he's kind of boring to listen to, so I'll cut it off. But essentially, China's playing around in our stock market. And don't forget, they got caught sending out counterfeit gold and selling counterfeit gold while they've been accumulating gold. The whole BRICS Nation idea thing might actually have some weight to it. I know they're trying to do a digital yuan in China that is backed by gold. And they want that to be the world currency. That's China's ultimate goal, is to have a gold-backed digital yuan be the global currency. Again, you can follow me on X at Longview Crypto. That was one of the people I was trying to partner with. But let me pull up the bookmarks here. Let's see here. Canton Network. Tokenization. On Canton, tokenized assets are the asset, legally recognized, enforceable, and issued natively on chain. Smart contracts encode ownership and rules, making the ledger system of record for issuance, transfer, and settlement. So Canton Network exploding, by the way. Loving the Canton Network. What did Besant have to say? Let's find out.
We will take a close look at regulatory impediments to blockchain, stablecoins, and new payment systems. And we will consider reforms to unleash the awesome power of the American capital markets. Americans deserve a financial services industry that works for all Americans including and especially Main Street. We will take a close look.
So they are really, really trying to roll out the crypto structure bill. Like, I mean, as far as the administration, the SEC, the CFTC, they are going. They want this thing done. I think it'll be done by, I think the Clarity Act structure bill is going to be done before midterms. I think it's going to get pushed across one way or another. And I think I see the comment there. I'm going to go ahead and address it. I do think that XRP needs clarity. I think that they all need clarity. Clarity is going to be good for all of them as far as for institutions being able to get in. Now, we do have clarity in the sense that we know what XRP is not. It has negative clarity. The SEC case came out and said it is not a security, but it doesn't mean we still don't have a definition of what it is, right? And regardless of that, without the structure bill, major institutions are not going to fully jump into and invest heavily in crypto and blockchain, because everything that's been done to this point can be undone with a new administration, with new executive orders, new head in the SEC, new head in the CFTC, new rules written. All that stuff can be changed with a new administration. So we need something codified in the law to really get people to jump in. So yes, the Clarity Act is important for XRP and for every crypto, at least the ones in my infrastructure block out. And again, we are here. I currently have XRP, Canton Network, Chainlink, HBAR, and Ondo. Those are my 5. I'm currently looking into Hyperliquid right now as potentially adding that in, but still working on that research. BlackRock, Larry Fink, what he had to say. We love hearing from Larry Fink.
The role of tokenization and digitization. How quickly should they think about digitizing their own currency? What does that mean for the role of the dollar? If every currency digitizes and we have, what does that mean for bank payments? What does that mean for the payment companies like MasterCard and Visa? All these are being questioned right now. I think we spend so much time talking about AI. We're not spending enough time talking about how quickly we're going to tokenize every financial asset, and the opportunity we're going to have a digital wallet and moving, ETFs and other things through a digital wallet. And I think that's going to happen worldwide very rapidly. And I think most countries are ill-prepared for that and underappreciate how technology is changing that, not unlike how technology is changing AI and other things. It will be changing the technology around the plumbing of finance.
The technology around the plumbing of finance. So what do we follow here on this channel? We follow the plumbing. We follow the infrastructure. We follow the payments. We follow the account set activity. We are behind at least I am, behind the projects that have real adoption, real use case, and real utility. Canton Network, XRP, Chainlink, Ondo, and HBAR. The people involved with tokenization and finance, right? That's my whole synopsis. That's what it's all built on. And again, we can see activity on Ledger increasing for the XRP or for the XRPL. And we had reassurance from Ripple about what's going to happen. Let's see. And then, of course, when you're looking at headlines, be careful. Price day slips near 142 as thin weekend liquidity keeps traders on edge. I actually agree with that one. But Pundit says it's time to get your XRP off crypto exchanges. XRP rebounds 20%, leads its peers, yada, yada, yada. So, I mean, you're going to see a little bit of everything. Kind of like we said about the Patrick Witt comment about the Clarity Act coming on April 3rd. Like, he said it as a joke, and of course it got blown out of proportion. This was funny, though. This was just some funny news. Crypto firm accidentally sends 40 billion in Bitcoin to its users. So South Korean crypto exchange apologized on Saturday after mistakenly transferring 40 billion worth of Bitcoin to users, which briefly prompted a sell-off on the platform. Bithumb said it accidentally sent 620,000 Bitcoin, currently worth over 40 billion, and blocked trading and withdrawals for 695 affected users within 35 minutes after the error occurred on Friday. Could you imagine just accidentally send out that much? According to local reports, Bithumb was meant to send 2,000 won at $1.37 to each customer as part of a promotion, but mistakenly transferred roughly 2,000 Bitcoins per user. How dumb can you get? Yeah, we just mistakenly sent out 2,000 Bitcoin instead of $1.37 worth of won. So they meant to send out 2,000 won and send out 2,000 Bitcoin. Check your transactions, people. You know what? If we did that as the user, we would be screwed. They're like, sorry, you sent it. You custody your own assets. But they do it and they can pause trading and take all the money back. That's bogus. That's so bogus. Let's get into the chat. What are you guys up to today? Let's see. Chat. Where's the chat? Here it is. Hello, Scott, Charles, and World. Welcome, Crypto Rogers. Sir Charles was in here first today. Shay made it in the house. Todd Madison's here. Let's see, Sir Charles. Abdul, good morning from California. If you're new to the stream, if you're new to the channel, let me know where you're from. Throw it in the chat. I like to talk to everybody. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I highly encourage it, right? We highly encourage participation because once we get through the news, we just hang out with the chat and I'll do a recap for anyone who came in late after we get through some of the chat. Kramer said that Trump will fill the Bitcoin reserves at 60K. Take that with a grain of salt. So when Kramer says, so the market always does the opposite of what Kramer says, right? So if Kramer says it won't go past 60K, that also means assuredly it will go past 60K. Happy Saturday, Miss Wendy. Alrighty, how come ETFs not pumping cryptos at all? Well, so when we look at the ETFs, here we go. Let's talk about ETFs a second. Pull up that right screen. When we look at ETFs, here we go. Volume is not going to impact price, okay? The ETF volume is not going to impact price. What's going to create supply pressure for XRP is when they have to create new shares, right? When they continue to lock XRP into trust. Well, they currently have 789 million locked. It went up to 800 for a little bit, then it fell down to like 750, and then it went up a little. So really, it's in the same place it's been for about a month and a half. So that's why we're not seeing any appreciation pressure from the ETFs because they're not adding anything yet. When this number goes up, when XRP locked goes up, that's adding supply pressure. So they can trade all they want, but if they're not locking up more XRP and creating more shares in the ETF, if there's not enough buy pressure to create more shares and to prevent outflows, then it's not going to affect or impact the price. That's why. It's not a one-to-one representation, unfortunately. Let's see. Back to the chat. That screen. Yo, what up, Phoenix? Sir Charles in the house today. Alberto in the house today. Does XRP really need the Clarity Act? Yes, I answered that question. That was a good question. Can we buy gold or silver as crypto tokens? So can you buy tokenized gold and silver? I believe, yes. I believe you can buy that. I'm not exactly sure where yet, though. I haven't messed with tokenized gold and silver. I was actually doing some research yesterday, and I think I'm going to go pick up some physical silver. I found a place near me that has a decent price. Premiums are ridiculous, yo. But for 1 ounce, 1 ounce Eagles, I can get them for $92. I found a place per, so I'm probably gonna get a 20 ounce stack that's still mint sealed. Kind of what I'm thinking at. But as far as tokenized, I haven't found it anywhere. Honestly, I haven't really looked into it much. It's something I should look into. I'm new to crypto. Is there any chance I could find someone to help me with a cold storage wallet? Great job informing, bro. Well, I do have a cold storage wallet option for you. It's in the description. It's LAPAL. I'm actually working on another one. They haven't given me my link yet, but I just got the new Tangem wallet, the ring set, right? And I love it. I absolutely love it. It's easy to set up. They have a DEX on there. You can move stuff around in it. But that's not like a long-term cold storage, but it's going to replace my warm wallet. For sure, because it's basically a cold storage backed wallet with a DEX, but it's not for like long-term crypto. For the long-term crypto stuff, this is what I would recommend, or anyone you want, but this is what I have. So this is the LAPAL Titan 2.0. It's an air-gapped cold storage wallet, so it's never touched the internet. The only time it will touch the internet is when I put my crypto on it and when I take it off of it. Before that, it's never touched the internet, and it doesn't have Bluetooth. Well, I think it does have Bluetooth, but nonetheless. So if you get an air-gap cold storage wallet for like your long-term stuff, and then a lot of people talk about the Faraday bags, you put it inside the Faraday bag so wireless can't get to it. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you can do. But there's several options out there, but I do link the ones that I use. And the only thing I will tell you, regardless of whatever cold storage wallet you use, get it directly from the manufacturer. Don't get it from a third party. You want to get it directly from the manufacturer, so that way there's nothing floating around on it. You're very welcome. And again, make sure you guys hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I stream every single day, Monday through Saturday at noon. We cover the news, we cover price, so we can set up the long view. I started seeing my buys take days to show up and process in my bank. Well, I know when I was transferring to Robinhood, they'll give me up to 4,000 instant cash, but I put in a $15,000 transfer to Robinhood and it still hasn't processed. I did that Monday and it still hasn't processed through. Buy a Tangent Vault, very easy to set up in a minute. Yeah, I literally set mine up in about a minute and a half. And that was with, so the Ring one, the reason I like the Ring one, number one, I like the Ring. I think it's cool. I think technology's fun. But that's just me. So it comes with the ring, fits my pinky perfect. It's my pinky ring. But that being said, I don't carry it around with me everywhere because I don't want to be carrying around my cold storage wallet. But it comes with the ring and it comes with 2 cards. And I don't even have the link in there for Tangent yet. They haven't even sent it to me yet, so I'm not even gonna get paid. I don't even have a link for you. But comes with 2 cards, and I have short-term memory loss because I had multiple strokes, so that's why I like this for a wallet options, because it's more secure than a warm wallet, but it gives me the same features. So if I were to lose my seed phrase, I can recover it with either the ring and a card or 2 cards. So you're not tied to one device. You can actually recover your seed phrase with these, and they are all linked together. So that's what I think is pretty cool. You can access your crypto from any one of those too. So like if you want to give it to a spouse or something like that, so they have access to it, multiple people can hold a card, you can do that as well. I'm an idiot, but I'll try. Don't talk bad about yourself. Speaking of idiots, one thing I want to share with you guys, if you're trying to save money, someone told me I needed to share this, so I will. If you're wanting to try and save up money for investing or dart throws or whatever you want, one of the things when I was younger, 7 years ago, when I made the commitment to get out of debt, one of the things that I saved for investing was what I called the idiot fund. And I called it the idiot fund because every time I was going to make a dumb decision and I talked myself out of it, I put that money in an idiot fund. Like, I don't need to stop and eat lunch out. I can eat when I get home. Oh, $10 goes to the idiot fund. I don't need to buy a beer at the game. That's $8. Okay, $8 goes to the idiot fund. So when I catch myself about to spend money that I shouldn't spend, and I talk myself out of it, I put it into the idiot fund because it's like I spent it anyway. And then that money went to investing, and I would invest that every month. And sometimes it got up there pretty good. Like the time I talked myself out of buying a TV I didn't need. You know what I mean? So like those kinds of options are really fun. But don't call yourself an idiot. Enough people will talk bad about you. You don't need to do it to yourself. Just don't want to lose any of my XRP. Well, you're going to lose one for sure. And here's a good suggestion. You're going to lose one for sure. When you set up a new wallet, you have to basically sacrifice 1 XRP to set up a wallet. And then secondly, how do I put this? You should do a test run first. Say you have 1,000 XRP, just using round numbers. Send yourself 10 first, right? Don't send the whole bag. Send yourself 10, make sure you understand it, make sure you're comfortable, or even 5, right? and make sure you're comfortable with it. And then once the transaction goes through, you just repeat the process at a larger scale, right? That's all there is to it. Everyone's a little bit nervous sending crypto the first time because they're afraid it's going to disappear. Talking about the Bitcoin they sent out to everybody. Yeah, I wish they would have sent me some. Raul, welcome, Raul. Anybody staking XRP on Firelight? I have about 83 that I did through Flare Network. I got the Binance wallet and did it through Flare. I sent a little bit out just to test it. So I did wrap some of my XRP and deploy it out there. It's making the contract I have it set up in. It was a 1-year contract at like 6.1% or something like that. You can shop for contracts once you get on there. It's pretty cool. There's some, I don't have a video on that. Maybe I should make one. I think people might enjoy that. But then I have to link I have to do it for my phone, and I don't like recording my phone screen for some reason. Do you think Linea will have a real use case? Thank you. Well, I've started to see it pop up. I know it's popular on, it's one of the new additions on Caleb and Brown. I saw it pop up too, but I have not done any research into it. I need to do more before I can really give an opinion. That's one thing you can trust with me. If I don't know, I'm going to tell you I don't know. I don't want to give you bad information. So I don't know enough about Linea to give you an opinion on it. Alaska, what part of Alaska? I really want to go see the Northern Lights. That's on I want to travel everywhere, right? So the Northern Lights is on my bucket list as well. I really, really want to go there. Do you think there will ever be a time the XRP stockpile will shrink, pumping up the price? I think what's going to cause XRP to pump up in price is going to be utility when it's needed to run at scale, as we were talking about with what Ripple came out with yesterday. They outlined on how each individual layer is going to utilize XRP. So as this begins to scale, remember we're at the tip top of the iceberg. If you were here yesterday and caught the interview we watched with the Canton Network, or not Canton Network, the Digital Asset CEO, which is the company behind Canton Network, and he was talking about it. He was talking about the trillions and trillions of dollars they're already doing, and they said that sounds like a large number, but he's like, we're not even doing 5% of it yet, and that's just the DTCC, right? I mean, when we think about how much money is going to be involved and how long it's going to take to get to that level of operability, I mean, we're looking at least a year or two before we start seeing like any like real like super big process into blockchain. They're still working on tokenization. It's going to take some time to roll out, but I think the utility will create demand, and the demand will cause the price to pump. So do I think there will ever be a time XRP stockpile will shrink the price? Yes, I do think it, because people will be utilizing it, and that will cause the price to appreciate. My opinion. If California doesn't pass, if CA doesn't pass, the crash in crypto will make this crash look like child's play. If the Clarity Act doesn't pass, the crash in crypto, maybe. I think it's going to get pushed through because of how much money is into blockchain now. Like the entire stock market wants to go on blockchain. Larry Fink wants to go on blockchain. JP Morgan wants to go on blockchain. And if we've learned anything, follow the money. You think the politicians rule the world? The money and the banks rule the world. So the banks will get through. I think the market structure bill is going to pass, but I think it's going to not be what crypto wants. I think the banks will win. I've said that before. But I'm a realist, and you follow the money. And the money tells me they want this to go through, and the money tells me the banks don't want it to go through. So who's going to get what they want? The banks are going to get what they want, like they always do. If so, what's the best yield, or where to... Are you saying store? Oh, just XRP. Oh, for Flare Network. I got you. You have to do some more research into it. I've done it and messed with it, honestly, just to say, yes, you can do it. And yes, I've done it, but I haven't researched super hard into it. I'm personally waiting for one-click DeFi that's available on the XRPL. They already announced that they are going to have lending protocols available. So I do think we are going to have the ability to deploy our XRP on the XRPL within the next year or two. Again, my opinion. So I'm waiting for that. To me, it just seems like an easier play for actually earning yield on my XRP. So right now I'm just focusing on stacking more. And at these prices, it's a great time. I actually just put in, again, I told you I adjusted my buy order from 80 cents to $1. I just did that this morning. So I have a large buy order in at $1 on Caleb and Brown. Air gap probably use NFC with self. Okay. Yeah, I like the air gap. Makes me feel warm and fuzzy. I'll pay $50 extra for an air gap. That's just me. You have Ledger Flex, was easy to set up, been good to me so far. There you go. I also have a Ledger. I have a Ledger. That was my first cold storage wallet, and I have that in a safety deposit box at the bank. There's all kinds of ways you can store your crypto. But I will be truthful with you. Like for the majority of my crypto, it's either in an air gap cold storage wallet now, other than my original bag, which is my moon bag that I put away a long time ago. But for the bulk of my crypto, it stays in either my air gap cold storage wallet or an institutional custody at Caleb and Brown. Period. That's it. I like to feel safe. I'm not trying to move it around and do a bunch of stuff with it right now. But again, I have messed with it to say that you can, and I do report on it. I'm just keeping it safe. Great information. I am glad you enjoy Alberto Far Maximus, because we're both bald and from Missouri. Hey, I appreciate it. You know what? That'll buy me some shaving cream, maybe. I can get some shaving cream, because look at this, man. It's getting long. I was thinking about, I went to a barber last time, actually, and got a shave done. Like they lined everything up and got it all clean with a straight razor. If you're bald, I suggest you do it if you have a barber near you. Every once in a while, treat yourself. Let someone else take care of it. Get super clean. They lined me up on the mustache and everything. I need to go back. It looks like trash now. Oh, you're playing truck driver today. I see you, Raul. What state you driving in today, or do you stay local? Alberto Garcia says, can you believe we might have another government shutdown again? You're surprised? I'm not being political, okay? I'm not being political, but my belief on what's going on right now, it's a clown show. It's a clown show. It's diversion, right? You can call me a conspiracy theorist, whatever. This is speculation. But we have crap going on in Minnesota and liberals versus Democrats. We have crap going on in the economy. We got crap going on with crypto and the market structure bill. We have literally just stuff everywhere. Look at me, look at me, look at me. And I feel like there's something going on over here while they're saying, look over here. You know, that's just me. I feel like this is a diversion. I feel like something's going on behind the scenes. I feel like they're trying to distract everybody. But, you know, that's just what my gut instinct is telling me. Because, it's just so much stuff. We've got the Epstein files out, or we got the E files out now. Hopefully they don't throttle me. But, it's literally just stuff everywhere. Look over here, look over here, look over here. Stay distracted with ICE. Stay distracted. What are they trying to hide? I feel like they're trying to hide something. Because we've had lots of chaos with nothing happening. Right? Nothing's come from any of the chaos. Other than people, a lot of immigrants are extremely scared, as well they should be. And a lot of people have lost a lot of money while the Trump family has gotten rich off their crypto. So, there's a lot of fear right now, not just in the markets, just in our entire country right now. And it's not helping, it's not helping crypto whatsoever. Got a lock for me. Seahawks -4.5. I tend to agree with you. I have a feeling the Seahawks are going to stomp the Patriots. And you know what? I used to hate the Patriots, and I still don't like them. even though Brady's gone and the whole thing's gone, and the Patriots were my Chiefs to all of you, right? To all of you AFC Bills fans and Ravens fans and everything, right? We went in the playoffs every freaking year and could not get past the stinking Patriots. So, yeah, I don't like them either. But I wasn't rooting for the Broncos either. I hate the Broncos more than the Patriots. John Elway and his horse teeth. Good afternoon from Lakeland, Florida. XLS 66. XLS 66. Isn't that the new privacy layer they just launched on chain, right? Let's see. I talked about that the other day. Testing my short-term memory. I think that's the new privacy layer that they're rolling out to allow for institutions to have their privacy and side chain payments. Believe that's what you're talking about. But that is going to be massive, and that's not really going to go into full effect probably. It's not even live yet, but they have that and the DEX going live as well soon on the XRPL that was announced. I went over, if you guys missed the live stream yesterday, the utility versus price live stream, I highly suggest you watch at least the first 20 minutes. Lots of good data in there as far as what's happening with the XRP ledger and utility. I don't want to recap all of it necessarily in this same stream. You're playing truck driver today. Where are you driving at, Rob? Oh, you're local. Okay. Local data. Oh, Dallas Fort Worth area. Okay. Alrighty. So you're just stay local. That's good. I lived down there too. I lived in Wichita Falls, Texas for 6 years when I was stationed at Shepherd Air Force Base. So I went down to Dallas Fort Worth a couple times. Payday next week. I want to see XRP stay low. And I'm pretty sure I highlighted that. Thank you for the super chat, Far Maximus. I do appreciate you. I forget where in Missouri you're from. You're from the Lou, right? I'm pretty sure you referenced the Lou, if I remember correctly. You like to say the Cardinals and stuff like that. I love your hockey team, though. Dumpster fires everywhere you look. Agreed. Yeah, it's terrible right now, man. And it's not just crypto dumpster fires. I mean, it's like I feel like the moral fabric of our country is eroding. Maybe I'm crazy, but I mean, it's just so many different things. But I feel like the overall moral fabric of our country is eroding, and people are going from one extreme to another extreme. I feel like most of us, I was actually just talking with my girlfriend about this earlier. I feel like the majority of us reside in the middle, right? The majority of us sit in the middle. We're not on one extreme or another. A lot of us can have basic conversations on key political points and come to an understanding. But the way media works, even the way YouTube works, right? You have to create confrontation, you have to create clicks, so you only see one extreme or the other extreme. So really, and when you try to fill in the middle, people get bored and don't care. So we're living in this polarizing world of extremes when the fact is it's not reality, but people think it's reality. I don't know if that makes any sense. I kind of went off on a little tangent when we're talking about dumpster fires everywhere. I think people just need to bring it back to sanity a little bit. A hawk will kill a snake. You are right about that, soul of Jeff. A hawk will kill a snake. In your opinion, do you see another crash, same or worse than the last one? Will it be due to clarity or carry trade? I personally think we still have some work to do on price because of just the overall stock market being in a lot of pain right now. We've had a lot of issues with the AI stocks, with tech stocks, with the software stocks. There's lots of cracks in private credit. Will they turn the money printer on? Jobs data wasn't good. Like when we're talking about crypto, let's hop into a recap for everyone who came in late. Hit the like button. I appreciate it. I'm going to recap you and catch you up right now so you know what's going on and what we're talking about. My name's Scott. I'm here 6 days a week. I stream every single day, Monday through Saturday at noon. We cover the price, we cover the news, because we need to know where we are so we know where we're going. But let me fix this real quick here so we can get all the right information. Let's pull this down. There we go. So if you guys came in late, I'm going to give you all the gist. So I still think we're looking at a pullback from here. I don't think this is over. My original targets before this started, we announced it on Wednesday in the members only live stream that is available to you. Our members do get a weekly live stream and soon to come a weekly newsletter letting you know what's happening last week and what's coming up next week. That's kind of the same idea for the members only live stream. Now, that being said, when we were at 70K, I said this is the line in the sand. We were sitting about $1.34 for XRP. At that point, I thought we were going to get down to 55K and we would see XRP around 80 to 85 cents. I've changed this a little bit. I still think we're going to get down to 55K for Bitcoin, but I think we're going to hit $1 for XRP. So now I've got my buy order set at $1 for when this pulls back. Now, why do I say this is going to pull back? What are the causes? Well, the causes are the macro pressures you can see on the screen. We've had a pullback in tech and AI. We had soft jobs data. Rate cuts didn't happen. We've been seeing ETF outflows across pretty much every cryptocurrency, and liquidity has been tightening. People have been deleveraging. We saw people pull out of gold and silver, pulling leverage out of gold and silver. When people deleverage, it spreads across everything. This started with gold and silver Friday last week is what started this whole thing, this whole rotation. This isn't one thing. This is the entire stock market, okay? So when we're looking at that, how can I prove that? Well, I'll make it real easy for you. Let's go with the biggest one of them all, NVIDIA, right? Everyone likes NVIDIA. Too big to fail, right? Huge NVIDIA. Okay. Let's look at NVIDIA over the last year. It's all-time high in October. What happened in October, guys? We had a big deleveraging, de-risking, right? A lot of money collapsed October 10th in crypto, right? Shortly thereafter, what's happened with the AI stocks? NVIDIA has gone from $211 all the way down to $172. This is one of the biggest stocks in our economy. The AI sector is entirely propped up on debt. What's going on with AMD? Let's look at AMD. AMD took a sharp decline. They're down a massive amount since October as well. They ran back up, but then they just gave it all back. So AMD's collapsing. How about Microsoft? What's going on with Microsoft? Big company, right? Now, I'm not saying collapsing, but what I'm saying is you're seeing these pullbacks across every sector. And we think it's not going to impact crypto, or we want to blame this coin's never going to do anything, or this token's never going to do anything. I hate to break it to you. Everyone thinks Bitcoin's in charge. Bitcoin's not in charge. The stock market's in charge, okay? Bitcoin is still considered a risk asset, and it's proving it. Now, it has its halving cycle. I mean, it is a store of value, but how good's a store of value that can lose half of its value in 6 months? Went from an all-time high of 120K to its current price of 60K. 69K. So if we look at Bitcoin over the last year, all right, we can see a similar story to the tech stocks, can we not? Okay. So it's following the stock market. Still following tech stocks. People don't want to believe it, but you can see the pictures. It paints a pretty clear picture. Now, why do I think it's going to go lower? Well, AI stocks are still rolling over. We're still having issues with liquidity worldwide, geopolitical. Japan hikes rates. We're still not in an overall good market. Is that reverse carry trade? Kinda. But I'm just looking at the stock market. And if I pull this up back to the 15-minute candle, I want to show you why I think it's going to still go lower from a technical viewpoint. So when we had the pullback on Thursday, we started right at about this level, 71,000. We were talking about this in the members only live stream. We fell all the way to 59. I thought we were going to come back up between this zone from Friday because we were up here, failed, fell. Came back, tested, failed, fell all the way down. So I figured we were going to come back and test this area. And we tested it not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times. We even tried to come up a 5th time before it bottomed out below. So it's not going to pass 70K. It tried really, really hard. It's trying to run up and test it again. So, and look at the RSI, right? This whole time, RSI has completely been worked up, but we still have the same price. Just the indicators look like it's going to fail. It's probably going to tap again and fall. And if it falls again, then it's a liquidation event, and we'll probably see 55K, and we'll see a lot of other crypto sell off. But again, that's just my opinion and what I'm looking at. But that's why I have a buy order set at $1, because I'm here for the long view, right? I'm here for what XRP is going to be 10 years from now. I hold XRP, Canton Network, HBAR, Ondo, and Chainlink, my 5 favorites. And I also hold my physical real world assets, gold, silver, copper, and real estate. All right, back to the chat. Hopefully I didn't bore anyone, but I want you guys to see why I believe that and let you make up your own mind is the idea. I think it's the staking protocol for XRP. No. I'm right to the road in 45 minutes for, oh, you're right up the road from Wichita Falls. So I'm guessing you're either in Oklahoma. I lived in Oklahoma for a little bit too. I lived in Muskogee, Oklahoma. I crossed the border to Oklahoma a lot to go to the casino. It was like right across the border. It's 10 minutes. Like the Oklahoma border was like 10 minutes from my apartment when I was living in Wichita Falls. What's going on, Terry Rose? Welcome to the stream. Indeed, the Lou. That's what I thought I remembered. You were gonna go work on your bike. I got you. I need to start my bike today. Thanks for reminding me. I need to get that sucker running. 51 people watching. I appreciate everyone taking your time to be here. Your time is your most valuable asset. So the fact that you spend your time here is, I don't undervalue that. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. They're so split up too that they don't even see those in the middle. If you're not on their side, you're against them. Yes, when I was talking about how polarizing we are on the extremes, because it was funny, me and my girlfriend were talking about how we identify, right, as far as if we're Republican or Democrat or right or left, and we had a whole conversation about, I'm not going to tell you who's where, but we had a whole conversation about it. And ironically enough, we figured out that we were way closer than what we thought about the other as far as how our political beliefs lie. Watching from New Zealand, NZ, I'm guessing New Zealand. Here, our government are Trumps from Timu. Okay. NZ, is that New Zealand? Do you think if you're invested in crypto, do you think if you're not invested in crypto, you're not a fan of Democrats? No. I'm not necessarily, I have zero problem with Democrats. So the thing I have a problem with is big banks that lobby for Democrats. That's what I have an issue with. But I have a problem with the Republican side of that too. So what I'm saying as far as my political beliefs, I'm talking about like my moral beliefs, you know, my stance, and I'm not going to give you guys any of these. We're not trying to get into politics here today. But when I'm talking about like my stance on economy, my stance on, you know, social aid, my stance on, you know, abortion and like all those kinds of things. And when we really talked about it, we really weren't too far off from each other, truthfully. But I'm kind of weird in that sense. I've always felt I was kind of more in the middle anyway. Agreed. Got a limit order short BTC at 70. Okay, there you go. Nice bearish flag on the 1 hour. Yeah, I mean, from a technical standpoint, it definitely does not look good for Bitcoin, for sure. And that's on top of all the other pressures that we're talking about in the overall stock market. It will be a Bitcoin liquidation next. That's why I said I thought, again, if you've been here a while, that's kind of what I had laid out for Bitcoin and how XRP would follow Bitcoin. I do think 55 is where it's going to stop. I think money will come in and save it there. But if it falls below 50 and we get into the 40 zone, at that point, I think some altcoins may zero. I don't think Bitcoin's going to zero. I think there's too much money in it. But if Bitcoin goes sub 40, whoo, boy, that's a lot of pain. Some altcoins are going to disappear. Likewise. All right. Well, that's all the information. Anyone got any more questions? I'll do another quick recap for everyone. Man, bottom will be in November 2026. It will drop to 35K. You think so? See, I'm on a different vein from you because I think we're going to get the Clarity Act done. I think it's going to get pushed across before midterms. And I think we're starting and going to continue to see an increase in utility from some of these actual utility coins. We're already starting to see it a little bit. We're starting to see it with Canton Network finally showing itself in the spotlight. We're starting to see it with XRP utility finally showing itself on the XRP ledger. So there is adoption and real use case starting to ramp up and starting to happen. And I do think that's going to continue. How fast will it happen? I don't know. We have to find out. But that's why we're here for the next, 5-10 years, not necessarily for what's just happening right now. But I do think that this bounce that we just had is going to end up being liquidated. What you just said might be the goal. Get rid of the competition projects that are taking up space and liquidity. Yeah. I've always said it's going to be a lot like the .com bubble. There's going to be about 4 or 5 winners that rise to the top. So I was trying to position myself in each layer of that, right? In each layer of the tokenized financial economy. I don't have the thing to pull up right now, but that's why I have XRP for finance. That's why I have Canton Network for privacy. That's why I have HBAR and Ondo for tokenization, because they are literally tokenizing everything and they can't do it fast enough. You heard Larry Fink. So, I mean, the fundamentals and the long view on the crypto has not changed for me. We're talking about now basically entry positions, essentially the best place for entry positions, because I think 5-10 years from now, when we're discussing $1 XRP versus $2 XRP, or 15-cent Canton versus 25-cent Canton, or whatever it is, it's going to be a joke when we look back on this in 10 years. But that's my opinion. We're all entitled to our opinion. As my dad would always say, opinions are like buttholes. Everyone's got one and they all stink, unless it's yours. Everyone seems to like yours, or unless it's yours, you always seem to like your own. Everyone seems to like their own brand, if you will. Sir Charles, I'd like to send an email this week and get your opinion on something I'm thinking about doing. Would you appreciate your advice? All right, I got you, Charles. I got you. Thank you for the super chat. It's not necessary. You can email me, man, but I appreciate that. Oh yeah, now is not the bottom. I don't think it's the bottom either, personally. But I think we will bounce off of that 55K. And if it does go lower, it's going to take some other macro event that I'm not seeing right now. I think the current pressure, because the economy is not doing terribly right now, but I mean, jobs aren't doing good. Inflation, we're starting to look deflationary now. None of those things are good, and they're going to cut rates, but I don't think we're really going to see any kind of relief in the economy until they turn the money printer on, which Kevin Warsh doesn't like to do. Which is why I think we had a lot of run out of leverage over the last couple weeks, partially due with geopolitical drama, and then partially due with Kevin Warsh being announced as the Fed chair. My opinion, not financial advice. Let's see here. And I did better at not saying not financial advice all day today. So I appreciate everyone. There's still 50 people in the stream today. I appreciate everyone for taking your time to be here. I'm pretty much out of information. With that, I'll pull an Andy Reid with that. The time is yours. You guys keep me talking. Hit me up in the chat. What do you guys want to talk about? I'll find some stuff. We can start looking at charts if you want. I love it when we have 50 people or more in the stream. Makes me feel good, especially on a Saturday. And there's not a ton of news today, but we actually, I feel like, had a really good conversation today in stream in regards to politics and people being so dramatically on one side or the other, not necessarily in politics, even just in life or just in views. Like, the only thing that gets put out on social media and the only thing that gets put out basically in the regular media, because they want the views and they want the clicks, are the extremes of the extremes on either side of an argument, whatever the argument may be, whether it be political, whether it be crypto, whether it be feminism, whether it be whatever the case may be. Any major buzzword you want to create, or want to use, just creating division, where I feel like most of us reside in the middle. And I'm trying to create kind of a non-hype version of a crypto community for you all, so we can sit here and actually discuss. And I actually have a link for a tool I'm going to be using. I'm really excited about. I was just looking at it today. It's a new tool when it comes to looking up news that shows you how left it is, how right it is, how neutral it is, and it shows you what the sources of the article are based on and how left or right they are. So you make sure you're getting neutral information. I think is really, really cool. I'm going to be breaking that out when it comes to our crypto information as well and our financial information, so we can see who is giving these opinions and who is giving this information and what their motivations are, right? Because unfortunately, with news and keeping up with crypto and keeping up with the stock market and making sure that we're positioning ourselves in the best possible place going forward, now we have to worry about the quality of the information we're getting from everywhere, right? So I think it's going to be a great tool, and it's going to add some extra clarity to our channel, because right, we want crypto without chaos. We want clarity. We want the long view. No hype, no hopium, right? We're just here. We are here to build. We are builders. Let's see, how many people we got in here? Keep the chat rolling, guys. Sign off in the chat. Let's see. What's a sixth pillar I should look at for my crypto? Again, I hold XRP, HBAR, Canton Network, Ondo, and Chainlink. I am researching Hyperliquid right now. I did some brief research on Zebek. I know a lot of people were asking me about Zebek, and a lot of people are hyped up about it right now. I'm staying away from it. The reason I'm staying away from it, what they're building is really cool. The idea, the use case, don't get me wrong, it's fantastic. And they do have a little bit of partnership. However, what they're building, I think, can be replaced by banks and stablecoins, especially once they start getting tied into other ledger activities. I don't see Zebek as necessary. It's good technology, but I don't see it as necessary, and I don't think it's going to be able to compete against what the big banks are going to roll out over them. So I'm staying away from it for now. I could be very wrong, but that's my opinion on Zebek. I know a lot of people asked about that. I did do the research, and where I stand with it right now, I'm not saying it's a bad investment, but I'm worried about the competition it's going to have from the big banks. Do you feel Canton price will come down under 14 cents, being it's holding up better than most crypto? It could. I mean, volatility is possible. But at the same time, I've also said I'm not trying to hit levels with Canton because it's not moving with the rest of crypto. So it's very difficult to predict. If you watch the interview that we watched, and you can go to yesterday's stream and pull that up, it was like a 30-minute interview and I also retweeted it on X. You can pull it up there also. But it was like a 30-minute interview with the CEO of Digital Asset, the company behind Canton Network. And he was explaining how the utility maintains the price. Now, there are going to be periods of volatility in it, but the more utility that comes to the network, the more coins are burned. Therefore, the price will go up. And if there's not utility, then less coins are burned and supply increases. So there's an infinite supply that's based on utility. As utility increases, then the supply becomes more scarce. New coins are minted, and they go to the validators and the app developers primarily. So that's why major institutions like building on it, because they are becoming the super validators on the network. And that's why you see people like the JP Morgans, the Tethers, the cities, all these people, they're building on the Canton network as super validators. So as they contribute on the Canton network, they're going to get freshly minted Canton coins. That's how the tokenomics work. It was literally built and designed with institutions in mind, so the institutions will work on it. So when it comes to trying to buy it at a price, I don't do that with Canton. I'll do it with the other cryptos. I don't do it with Canton. I just buy it when I can. That's me. You do it how you do it, but that's why I do it that way. Because I can't figure out the price on it as far as the highs and the lows and that stuff. You like Algo and Stronghold too. Okay. Well, Stronghold is similar to XRP, but it still fills a different vein. So I think I feel like I have enough of a play in those areas in those layers with Canton Network and XRP, and I try to keep my investments to no more than 5, so that way I can, focus on it. If the thing is when the way I look at it, and if I say the word you, I'm not talking about you specifically. But the thing is if you have too many investments, then why are you invested in them? Like, I feel like you should only be really, really passionate and truly believe in a select few. If you're just throwing stuff at the wall, that's just not good investing. At least that's how I think about it in my head. Like, I should have a plan. I should have I should have a direction, a belief, a theory, a thesis, like a few things I believe in. And if things are drawing my attention away from my thesis, then that's something I need to touch on, right? That's a different problem. But that's just my opinion. So that's kind of how I look at it that way. Not to try and leave it in like one thing. Let's see. Is this chat going or is it just me? Like, the chat's not catching up. Oh, there it goes. Okay, the chat wasn't catching up for me. All the others you mentioned too, except Link. Okay. That's my that's my smart contracts layer. What you guys think will be the bottom of XRP? I'm cooked, down 140K on XRP. Ouch. I mean, I'm down a little bit, but I'm not down 140K. Oh my goodness. So you must have just strolled in here. I believe that if I change this, or this is what I pulled out Wednesday. This is what I came up with Wednesday night, actually, before things went sour. But I believe that Bitcoin's going to get down to 55K, and I believe XRP is going to get down to $1. I have my buy order in at $1. But that's what I'm thinking for Bitcoin and XRP. I've gone through it a few times. I can always pull up the chart and do a quick recap. But we've bounced off of 70K as a resistance now roughly 5 times on Bitcoin. It's trying to go up for a 6th time. I think it's going to fall to 55K, which would bring XRP to $1. That's my thinking. Anyway, my opinion. You like Stronghold only because of the Ripple investment piece. Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, everyone's got their own way. And I do take dart throws from time to time. I have my 5 core pillars, and then I do have dart throws on, but I usually only do that with extra money. It's not a part of my core philosophy. To me, it's gambling. It's a dart throw. And that's how I look at it. I don't look at my extra stuff as an investment. I look at it as a gamble. 140K. Bro, you in good company. Can't sell now. Hold down 300. Ah! Yikes. 300K is ouch, man. You guys are making me feel better when I lost 200K in 2021. And I actually lost it all. I had to sell it because I got divorced shortly after, so I had to sell at the bottom. Unfortunately, I had to liquidate everything. So yeah, that was painful to watch that disappear, man. That sucked. XRP eventually gets to double digits, I'm pretty sure. I still think it's possible this year. Honestly, I mean, I'm not banking on it, but I still think it's possible this year. I mean, especially for anyone who came in late. I often talk about this here. Let's pull it up here, because not a lot of people talk about it. I often talk about the account set activity. I pointed this out about 3 months ago when it started spiking, right? Accounts coming online, coming on Ledger, starting to ramp up, starting to get their permissions set, getting their on and off ramps set up, all that stuff. Well, we haven't seen this kind of activity on the account set Ledger like ever. It's more than the entire history of the Ledger. This is institutional usage coming online on the XRP Ledger. And if you look at payments, we're starting to see it translate to payments. Payments have increasing more than it's been all year. And then we're over 2 million 2 days in a row, and we're already at 1.2 million. We were at 1.24 million when I started the stream today. I'm going to refresh. I want to see where it's at now. So we were at 1.24 million when we started stream, 1.26. So it's already going up. This is probably going to finish above 2 million again. So if this continues to push up beyond 3 million, 4 million, etc., that's when we're really going to see some price movement, I think, from utility on XRP. But that's just me. Holding, but starting to get painful. Feels like oh man, that sucks. It's funny, but it sucks. I mean, it doesn't feel good. Like, the thing is everyone in crypto is in the same spot right now. And if this might be your first time. Is this your first time? Okay, yeah, I feel like that. It's like, is this your first time losing in crypto? Like, once you've lost a couple times, you learn the lessons and you learn the cycles, and you start becoming a little bit better at it. That's pretty much anyone when they come in, not just to crypto, when they come into trading in general. And a lot of people, their first time, especially a lot of the younger people, their first exposure to any kind of investment or any kind of trading is crypto or prediction markets, like literally the most chaotic things in the world. And then they get stressed out and call it a scam. So really, like, planning, having a thesis, something you can stick to. Like, you got to do it the old man kind of way. I mean, I hate to say it. There's a reason why investing slowly works. You can ask Warren Buffett, you can ask Charlie Munger, you can ask just about every single billionaire out there. It takes time. Most people want to get rich quick. You got to get rich slow. More people get wrecked quick than get rich quick. For one person to get rich, that means like 15 people have to lose. When you say the market could be a possible trap, I'm assuming you're speaking of people with leverage trading. I'm assuming for long-term holders, it wouldn't matter as it goes up or down. Correct. Yes. If you're here for the long view, I'm talking the it's a trap portion is referring to people thinking that this is a recovery, right? That we've seen the bottom, that this is a bounce. I think that's a trap. In a sense, and I brought that up because of Bitcoin. And I also went on to explain and show the AI sector, the private credit sector, and how we're having struggles all at the same time aligning with Bitcoin. And the fact that Bitcoin's not in charge, tech stocks, AI, the overall economy is what's really in charge. And I went and showed every single price chart and how they all kind of follow the same slope. And I don't think that this is the end. I think that was a rebound yesterday, but I think we're going to see some more pain here in the near future. I don't think we're going to go too far below 55K. But as far as Bitcoin goes, and I think XRP is going to see $1. But again, I have to say it. I'm trying not to say it too much. We're talking a lot about price, okay? None of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. You need to do your own research. Investing comes with the risk of loss, as everyone knows right now. You can lose everything, right? A lot of people can lose money. Trusted Trump's crypto capital of the world. That's why I went pretty big on XRP. Well, he does want it to be the crypto capital of the world. It's for his own selfish interests, right? His family's made billions. Follow the money, right? We talk about follow the money on this channel. So yeah, I do think that's the case, and we're still waiting on the market structure bill. The banks are fighting back, the lobbyists with the Democrats, all political. I do think it'll go through, and we are starting to see real utility come online. Where do you see XLM and XDC? I do have both of those as dart throws. I've done a little bit of research into them. I want to see more backing. And then XLM, I'm honestly starting to lose a little bit of faith in XLM and in some of the payments. I'm afraid that stable coins, and I want to see what happens with the Clarity Act before I get heavily involved in any of the payments ones. Because I want to see what they do with the banks and the stable coins. Because everything those payment companies are trying to do with XLM, with ZBEC, with all those, I think they can go away with stable coins and banks if the banks get their way. That's just me. So I'm treading carefully there. I do have some XLM and XDC as a dart throw. Honestly, I'm blanking on XDC right now. I did research it at one point because I bought some of it, so I must have liked what I read at that time, but I'm drawing a blank right now, to be honest with you. What is your selling point if you do sell? I don't sell. I at least not what I'm holding now. I sold out of my Bitcoin and rotated that into Canton. I started selling Bitcoin at 115 and rotated that into Canton Network. Oh no, my chat screwed up. What happened? I'm going to have to redo it. You guys broke the chat. Holy crap. Let me pull it back up. How did we break the chat? The chat ran out of memory. You guys did too many. You guys did too many chats. The chat bar ran out of memory. I have never seen that before. What is that nonsense? Let's see. So I need to bring up the live stream. Oh, my live stream died. What? Am I still streaming? Hang on, let me go to OBS. Am I still live to you guys? Someone let me know in the chat. Am I still live? The chat just went off. Okay, so I can't pull the chat up in my screen anymore. YouTube died. The YouTube, like my stream, so YouTube died. It's still streaming to you guys, but I can't see anything. So I cannot see anything. The entire page went blank. I'm afraid to refresh it and try to pull it back up because I'm afraid it's going to disconnect the stream on you guys. So I can't pull more chats up. I can't adjust the chat, unfortunately, but I don't plan on selling. I am not a seller. I did rotate out of Bitcoin and picked up Canton Network because I thought I had better return on investment, and Bitcoin was no longer one of my core pillars. You don't know how to tag people, but the guy who is down 140, you could theoretically keep a core position and take money off the table. I mean, you could. And another thing you can do, and I'm not advising anyone, but if you're down at a loss, you could sell, log the transaction as a loss, and then purchase back in so you can take that hit on your taxes this year and get money back on your taxes. Yeah, that's an option. But again, not advising anyone. That's stuff that I've done in the past and have thought about doing, but I'm not getting rid of my XRP. So I answered that question. It sucks I can't pull the chats up. That really does suck. You tuned in late. No worries, no worries. Blood in the street, by the deep. Chat still streaming, yes. Another issue I have as a European is dollar crushing has raised my average very much on XRP, sadly. Yeah, unfortunately, when the dollar's being debased, it makes everything look more expensive. Unfortunately, so it's not that everything was going up in price; our dollar was being debased. Still alive. No, I'm not live, mate. Okay. Well, you know what, guys? The stream's gone about an hour and 15 minutes. I appreciate everyone taking their time to be here. I'm going to go ahead and call it for the day. But again, I stream Monday through Saturday at noon. So I will see you guys Monday. Monday streams are always high energy. And I do think we are going to have some theater in the market Monday and Sunday. Actually, I think crypto is going to prelude it on Sunday. So we will have some many things to discuss on Monday. I'm looking forward to it. All right.